The Golden State Killer, also known as the East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker, is one of the most notorious serial criminals in American history. Over a span of more than a decade, he committed a series of heinous crimes, including burglaries, rapes and murders that terrorized California residents and puzzled law enforcement for decades. The Golden State Killer's crime spree began in the mid-1970s in the Sacramento area. Initially known as the East Area Rapist, he committed a series of burglaries and rapes targeting women who were often alone in their homes. His modus operandi was chillingly methodical. He would stalk his victims for days, learning their routines and then strike at night, often gaining entry through unlocked windows or doors. He would bind and blindfold his victims, subjecting them to prolonged and brutal assaults while taunting them with threats and insults. By the late 1970s and into the early 1980s, the East Area Rapist's attacks escalated in violence and severity. He moved to Southern California and began committing murders, earning the moniker Original Night Stalker. His pattern remained consistent. He targeted couples, breaking into their homes and terrorizing them before ultimately killing them. His meticulous planning and ability to evade capture left investigators frustrated and communities paralyzed with fear. For years, the case of the Golden State Killer went cold. Despite the best efforts of law enforcement, he seemed to vanish, leaving behind a trail of unresolved cases and grieving families. However, advancements in DNA technology would eventually provide a breakthrough. In the early 2000s, investigators began connecting the dots between the East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker, realizing that they were dealing with the same perpetrator. The pivotal moment in the case came in April 2018 when authorities utilized a revolutionary approach known as genetic genealogy. By uploading the Golden State Killer's DNA profile to a public genealogy database, they were able to identify distant relatives and construct a family tree, ultimately leading them to Joseph James DeAngelo, a former police officer living in California. On April 24, 2018, Joseph James DeAngelo was arrested at his home in Citrus Heights, California. The evidence against him was overwhelming, with DNA linking him to multiple crime scenes. In June 2020, DeAngelo pleaded guilty to 13 counts of first-degree murder and numerous other charges, accepting a plea deal that spared him the death penalty in exchange for a life sentence without the possibility of parole. The arrest and conviction of the Golden State Killer brought a measure of closure to the victims and their families, many of whom had waited decades for justice. The case also highlighted the potential for genetic genealogy as a powerful tool in solving cold cases and apprehending elusive criminals. DeAngelo's crimes left a haunting mark on the communities he terrorized, and his capture underscored the importance of persistence, technological innovation, and the dedication of law enforcement. The Golden State Killer case remains a landmark in criminal justice history, serving as both a cautionary tale of human depravity and a testament to the relentless pursuit of justice.